stars. Live from Cast and Destroy, the not ready for any time streamer, your Queen Devil herself, Miss Mindy.
All right, vinyl lovers, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another thrilling edition of Vinyl Halls, episode 3. So, guys, thank you so much for coming by and checking this latest episode out. And if you like what you've seen, please hit that subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate it. So, yeah, it's been a while since I've done another episode of this. A lot of stuff's been going on. I've had no internet for a week. I was originally going to film this episode last weekend, but unfortunately I had no internet for a week, and that pretty much derailed all my plans to do this episode. Now I'm doing it now, so we want to do this, get this taken care of, so we're going to do it today. Today we are going to do a quick go-over, a little bit of a review of the reissues of Black Sabbath's seminal first two records with the late legendary Ronnie James Dio, which is Be Heaven and Hell of 1980 and 1981's The Mob Rules. Now, Rhino Records released these last month, which would be March, at the time you watched this episode. So yes, they did two albums, the 2-album release. I do believe they're on CD and digital as well. So a lot packed with extra things. These Rhino Records does an amazing job with these re-releases. I do believe earlier in the year they re-released Volume 4 as a Super Deluxe Edition, which I would love to get my hands on, but that is like $100, and so hopefully we'll get a copy. Hopefully I will run across a copy of that. So, but yes, let's get to this. We are going to start off with our first record, which would be Heaven and Hell, which would be the first album to feature the late legendary Ronnie James Dio on vocals. Now, as you know, this was released in April 25th of 1980. This was the first record with Ronnie James Dio on vocals. Now, as you know, 1970-1980 was a pretty rough year for Black Sabbath. It was after 10 years as a band, they were kind of having problems with Ozzy Osbourne. They were kind of getting tired of him, and they ended up firing him. So they ended up getting Ronnie James Dio, who had just left Rainbow, Richie Blackmore's Rainbow. So they teamed up, and Tony Iommi and Ronnie hit it off really well. They started recording this record. Geezer Butler left for a bit. He actually left the band for a while to deal with a really bad divorce. Went back to England to take care of that. So they had a guy, I believe his name was Craig Gruber, who played bass on the original tracks of this. Now, when Geezer came back, he loved what he heard and decided he wanted back in the band. And that's when they wrote Neon Nights with him. Now, this would be the first record that Geezer Butler does not write any lyrics for any Black Sabbath stuff, because Ronnie James Dio took care of all the lyrics on this record. And yeah, this was released in 19. And again, the band, the record company, everybody wrote this band off. No way they thought they were going to continue without Ozzy Osbourne. And so they proved their critics wrong with this record. So yeah, they came out with this record in April 25th of 1980, produced by the legendary Martin Birch, who did several albums by Rainbow, Iron Maiden's longtime producer for a long time. So this is an amazing record, and this is a 2-deck set. So if you see in here, you got a gatefold of all those little stuff in here. You get some liner notes from people who were involved either with production or who drew the cover. So you got the back here, which is a portrait of the band. So, and I do believe like this was a drawn from a photo from 1976. I think Bill Ward, and they just added Ronnie in there. But yeah, there's apparently, if you look at Ronnie's knuckle, there's a devil right there. But we have the 2021 remaster of the entire album, which sounds fucking incredible. And for our bonus, you even get bonus track. The second record contains bonus tracks, which is you get some live tracks up here. You get some live stuff from Hartford, Connecticut, which Bill Ward did play on. As you know, Bill Ward, this would be his last album until Born Again in 1983, because middle of this tour, he left the band. Apparently, fortunately, he had some problems with alcoholism and just couldn't handle it. So he left the tour. So he was replaced by Vinny Appice, who was the brother of Carmine Appice, so yeah, he ended up doing the rest of the tour for this record. And a few of these tracks, I do believe, have him on drums. But I do know for sure that the Hartford, Connecticut songs do contain Bill Ward on drums. Now, this is a fantastic fucking record. I mean, you can't go wrong I mean, they proved everybody wrong with this record. They really did. And it's the same thing with AC/DC. I mean, look what happened when Bon Scott passed away, and they got Brian Johnson. They came back with an album that was gigantic. That was like pretty much the best-selling record of all time. The tour did very well for this. They did a tour with Blue Oyster Cult from the Black and Blue tour. That was actually filmed. And a weird note on this tour. I forget I don't know which city it was in, so you can correct me on that one. But there was a riot because somebody apparently threw a beer bottle at Geezer Butler's head, and while he was playing an IB, and he got knocked out. And the tour manager came on and started bitching at the crowd, and so the crowd pretty much demolished the entire building. But here we go. Heaven and Hell, Black Sabbath, 1980. Great fucking album, start to finish. Not one bad song on this record. It's amazing record. Now, Bill Ward kind of doesn't talk. I mean, he was pretty much in a haze, drinking a lot in this record. So, I mean, he doesn't disrespect who did it, but he's kind of in a weird place because he really didn't want. He missed Ozzy, and he loved Ronnie though, but it just wasn't for him, I guess. But drinking wasn't helping. So Vinny Appice filled in, and so he finished the rest of the tour. So you have that. So that'd be Heaven and Hell. You got a great gatefold cover. It sounds fantastic. Rhino does a great job with these re-releases of Black Sabbath stuff. And onward to our next Black Sabbath record would be The Mob Rules, which was released in November 4th, 1981. Amazing album cover. Let's flip it around. There we go. So yeah, we have The Mob Rules, released in 1981. This also has the 2021 remaster of the entire record, plus new bonus tracks. We have the heavy metal version of The Mob Rules. As you know, that song, the title track was originally recorded for the movie Heavy Metal. It was recorded at John Lennon's house. It was actually the first song that Vinny Appice ever recorded with the band. And that was kind of, according to him, that was his initiation into Black Sabbath. He became a full-fledged member of the band. So we have a bunch of, we have the Die Young live B-side of the Mob Rules. Mob Rules 2021 mix. Sign of the Southern Cross, Heaven and Hell, live in Portland, Oregon in April of 1982. And we have 3 songs from the Hammersmith Odeon show, which I believe, if you got the Dio years set back in 2006, 2007, contained there was a limited run that had that entire show. I don't know if about the digital or the CD copies, but I do know on Spotify, the entire Portland, Oregon show is on Spotify from this. And I gotta tell you, that show sounds a lot better than Live Evil. So, I like Live Evil's great, has a great song list, but obviously I never really was really grew down with the mix of that record. So, but this one actually, I actually love the way the Portland, Oregon show sounds on this. And it's kind of disappointing. Maybe there should have been like a digital copy of this. So we can hear the whole show. But again, the vinyl sounds amazing. It's again a gatefold cover. You see all this. That was originally over here. Was originally the back of the record album. So you just had some liner notes for people involved with making the record, the artist. Great record. This would be Ronnie and Vinny Appice's last record with studio album with Black Sabbath. As you know, after the tour for this, things got kind of ugly between those guys. And, Ronnie and Vinny left. Ronnie Dio started his solo career with Vinny, went along with him. So Tony Iommi and Geezer Butler went with Ian Gillan from Deep Purple and did the Born Again record. And actually, Bill Ward came back to play drums. He didn't stay with the band that long. He left right after the recording. And that's another story for another time. But yeah, this is a fucking phenomenal record. I love both these albums. It's very hard to pick which one of the first two are my favorites. I'd have to say I'd go with Heaven and Hell by a very minute much. I love the sound on this one though. But actually, Dio and Vinny Appice would come back in 1992 for Dehumanizer. They would do the Dehumanizer record. And then eventually, that only lasted for a tour, and then they kind of parted ways again on a bad turn. But then they would reunite again in 2007 under the name Heaven and Hell, and did mainly the material that Ronnie was involved in. And they played until they actually put out one studio album, The Devil You Know, and unfortunately in 2010, Ronnie unfortunately passed away at 67 years old. Long live Ronnie James Dio. We love that guy. I miss him. He's a great, amazing vocalist. He stuck it out and did it really live till the end. So, again, Rhino Records did an amazing job remastering both of these albums. These albums are incredible. Do pick them up. They sound fucking amazing. They should be an essential part of the collection. My only small complaint would be that my only small critique of this would be I wish the entire Portland show would have been a digital download. We could all hear it. That'd be great to hear. But yeah, Black Sabbath, Heaven and Hell, Mob Rules. Both reissues, both awesome records. Pick them up. They are now out and available now. This is a short this is a short review for the day. So I will be back next week for the next time for another review. Maybe not next week, but soon. I'll be doing another review. I've got some more records to show you. That was my quick review. This episode's not as long as they usually are, but it's a special episode dedicated to the gods, Black Sabbath. So, guys, thank you so much for watching this. If you guys like to see this other content and my other episodes that are out, go ahead and click on that subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate it. And yeah, as you all know, I stream games on Glimish. So if you want to go to Glimish, look at the link in my About section on my channel here. So I do appreciate you coming by and checking out my episode of episode 3 of Vinyl Halls. I do appreciate y'all coming. So before I start stammering on, my name is Miss Mindy. I'm the Miss Mindy. This is the Miss Mindy Show. I'm your host with the most, the Not Ready for Anytime streamer, your Queen Devil herself, and vinyl lover. So guys, thank you so much for watching. I'll catch y'all on the flip side. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time. So take care. Bye now.